Happy Friday, everyone. How's it going? I'm gonna draw viewers' names like badass band logos today because that's a fun thing to do. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna start drawing quickly. Just a couple quick announcements. We've got a huge sale going on because it feels like there's obligatory sale periods all the time. This one, I guess, is around the 4th of July. Just a public service announcement for lots of people who like to shoot off, their own fireworks. Fireworks are so stupid. I hate fireworks. That's my hot take. They, make doggies really scared because they don't understand. And I think we could take a year off from, doing some celebration of that kind of thing. Uh, I didn't know that hot take was coming in, but here we are. Why does Chris hate freedom? I don't know. He does. Alright, the big sale we're having is a little bit different than normal. Typically, we just have a promo code, which we have. We've got a promo code, and stuff is also marked down. There's like some specific items that have been marked down for the sale, so you get the promo code on top of that. In addition, it's not I mean, they're on sale because of the promo code, but there's a bunch of new shirts in the shop. Let me just rotate through some of them. Some of them are some old ones that were brought back, and some new ones. You can check them out. These are in there. These shirts that have just been added are, not limited run screen printed shirts like some of the other ones. However, they're still printed on the comfort color shirts that I use and love, that I talk about, that are just the best blank shirts in the world. They're not that weird flimsy material that gets all stretched out. They're not dumb slim cut. They're just a perfect comfy cut. They're not weird and boxy. They're just great. I just love them. Anyway, they are, print on demand, but I there's this vendor that I've tried a few of these out on, and I've tested them out and wore them a bunch and ran them through the dryer, and they are very good quality. I was very happy with them, so I'm using them, on the site. So those shirts are available. In addition, just a quick reminder that I have my new retro lettering and embellishment shapes pack that includes over 100 elements from like vintage typography, mid-century modern deco stuff that I collected. That is a vector and pixel shapes library that you can use in Adobe Fresco. So that's part of the sale too. I made a video last week about how I made this and showing you how you could do your own thing too. So you could check that video out if you want. Now the promo code is dumpster fire. Maybe we should do dumpster fires instead of fireworks because then you still get the 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 lights, the flashing, but without the banging sounds, the not the gunfire explosion sound. So maybe we light dumpsters on fire this year. That's probably a bad idea. Let's not do that. There's a link below to my shop with a discount code. Also, when you're on my shop, there's a banner at the top with the dumpster fire. That's 20% off plus the sale items as well. So it's a good deal. You should check it out. Also, if you are one of my amazing patrons, look on Patreon because you have a special discount code that gets you even more of a discount. So it's like discount city. Let's uh let's move on to one other quick thing. There's still a little bit of time left on the contest for the 1-year anniversary of my Retro Supply Co. pack. The winner will get their illustration reso printed. You get 40 copies of it. It can be up to 5 colors. And I'm also going to send out some stickers, pins, books, etc. to the winner. And I'll also send stuff to 2 runners up. Because this contest, I feel like maybe is a little bit more specific because you have to use the Retro Supply Co. pack. The details of the contest are below, by the way. There's not a ton of submissions, so I think you should enter because the chances of getting something, are not low. So check that out. Did I mention the deadline was July 7th? It's coming up. There's still a little bit of time. Also, if you want to enter, but you're concerned about like color separations for like the Rezo printing, we can help you out. You can reach out to me or Stump Workshop. All the information is in the link in the description to the contest, so you could check that out. Also down there is a link to a link to my site where you can submit your work for an upcoming video where I'm going to review and critique in a friendly way submitted work, because I did one of these videos a long time ago, back when I think I did it for like 10,000 subscribers, which seems like a week ago, but it wasn't. It was a little bit longer ago. But it was a fun video, and I thought I would do it again. So if you're interested in having your work reviewed in a video, link in the description. And I promise I won't be mean. It's you know, it's a positive thing. All right, did I cover everything? I think so. I think that's everything. Let's switch over to my iPad. So let me turn off these things. I got graphics flying up everywhere. It's out of control. How's everyone doing? Oh, let me love that 1000 sticker. Where is it? Is it on, do I have a 1000 sticker somewhere? Probably on my iPad case. Anyway, so how this works when I draw names is I do it on a first come, first serve basis from when the stream goes live. There's a pinned comment with the details. You do have the ability to jump the line with a super chat of $20 and above. But other than that, I just do it first come, first serve from when I go live, not the first comments, because you could leave comments from whenever I schedule it. So we got some names already ready to go. And I see the first name on the list is Chili Pen Paper. Can you just let me know if that can be broken up at all? Because that's a long line, and it might be better if it could be broken up. Let me know. And while you're letting me know, let me just shout out my patrons. All of my official Piascik tier and above get their name drawn and included in all the videos I make while they are active patrons. We also have a PS sticker and party club where we have monthly hangouts, and I mail them stickers, new stickers every month. Isn't that crazy? You can find out more in the link in the description. Onto my iPad. Hi. How's it going? Just sure. Megan Cooksey, did I see a new King shirt? You sure did. That's on there. It's on my shop. You could check it out. Let me get my elbow pad. You ever heard about that? Look at this. Okay. All right. I think Chili Pen Paper. So you're telling me I can break it up on 2 different lines. Okay, cool. Let's see. Let's just write it down. So we've got chili, obviously, and then pen paper. What are we gonna do? So this is. Oh, let me put on some tunes up in this piece. Hey, and don't forget to smash the thumbs. Like my where's my background music? There we go. Hey Matt, let me know how the sound is on that. Okay? Okay. Let's get into this. How's my mic? I'm overwhelmed. We're just gonna start playing around. So what if it was like, I'm just trying to figure out what we can do to make this just super badass. I like what's happening with the H and the L here. My only concern is like the C and the I not balancing that well, but maybe if we thinned out the I think that could work. Just made the I a little bit wider, the C a little bit thinner. And then maybe we can do some sort of like angle thing like this where we can put pen paper in the middle area. Well, we got all these angles. I'm moving my canvas all over the place. I didn't even make a new layer. I am off my game right off the bat. I'm gonna use symmetry to try to make this into a shape that is a little bit easier to use. I should have put some hotter jams for the band name drawing videos. I also think that I should just start doing these live streams consistently at 10:30 and not 10, because when I try to do it at 10, I end up rushing a little bit and things get a little hectic, and then I'm off to a slow start because I'm flustered. Okay, Matt, you said the music is a little quiet. I wonder what I did to mess that up at some point. All right, tell me how that is. Okay. Let me try to get myself together. Oh, okay. So if we had, do something like this. All right, now we can turn off symmetry. What on earth? How am I the most confused person I've ever been in my life right now? How did we get here? Where am I? Am I even alive right now? Hey everyone, I'm doing a hard reset right now. I'm gonna take a sip of water and I'm gonna come back from the sip of water and we're just gonna smash through this. Ready? There we go. I got a new song, I got a new feeling, and I'm just gonna start freestyling something. I'm gonna connect this like this. And we're gonna dot these eyes with flames because it's chilly. And then what are we gonna do for the pen paper thing? Okay. All right. We're back in the zone. Back in the auto zone. Let's get all this garbage out of here. Let's forget that even happened. And let's start bringing this to life. Werewolf Style G, you said, do you like traditional illustration or digital more? I really only work digital these days, but I don't know. I don't feel like it's like a different thing because I still draw exactly the same as I did when I worked on paper. This is just more efficient, and all the tools always work perfectly. I don't have like worn out pens or needing paper, and I can be more flexible and just like doing lots of layers and iterating. It's just the more efficient way for me to do everything. So I don't know. I feel like they're both just tools, and this one is more efficient for me. Once I was able to dial in or like have my tools feel just like the markers I used to use, like the felt tip sign pens, it was just like a seamless transition. So I just don't feel the need to work on paper. I also love being able to like zoom in and out, and just everything's just so much more convenient. It's always ready. And then if I want to do something with it, I don't have to deal with scanning. Okay, let's delete that. Instead of filling these all in individually, I'm gonna select the outside, and then just the counters. And then on a new layer, I'm gonna just go to select invert. And then I'm gonna do it with a little bit of a texture brush. Let's grab using my Retro Supply Co brushes as usual. All right, and I think I just want to grab a little, just like a little bit of over spray, stuff like that. A little too far over here. There we go. Chili pen paper. I hope you like it and have your band ready to go. Dude Ranchero, you said, can we submit more than one piece of the contest? Absolutely, you can submit as many pieces as you want. D4 House, you said Fresco keeps getting updates while Procreate feels stagnant. Well, I know the Procreate team is also working on a big Dreams push, so that's probably why they have to focus their energy there, I would assume. There's been a bunch of Fresco video updates, and I do have a video coming out soon about the newest updates and some of my favorite ones. Okay, that was a rough start, but I think we pulled it together. Let's move on to the next one on the list, which is Lady Icarus. It's nice to see a long time followers, subscribers in these early drawings. Familiar names, if you will. Okay. Chili Pen Paper said, hell yeah, I love it, Chris. Thanks so much. You are welcome. Glad you like it. All right, let's maybe do like a psychedelic script or something for this. Just seeing how we can, ooh, look at that. I feel like sometimes when I'm sketching out and doing like lettering, I'm just sort of like seeing what happens, and sometimes it surprises me, and that's the fun part. Like that kind of connection is pretty cool. Let's see what we can do with Icarus. May do like a fancy lowercase a for that space. I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's see if we can fix this up a little bit. Thank you, Lady Icarus. I appreciate you. Trying to figure out an angle that makes sense but isn't too chaotic. I think what I want to do is kind of adjust the baseline angles a little bit so it's a little bit more intentional. Okay, I think that will be good. I know these lines are just for guides, but I feel like taking those like extra shots, extra edges off those cross lines is helpful visual for me. Helpful visually is what I'm trying to say, I think. Okay. So things that I want to, like the problem area is the way that the bottom of the L and the Y and this A and the R come together. So I think I'm going to start there. But I do kind of like this RA combination. So then maybe these could just kind of come in like that. The earlier it is for my live streams, the more I'm closer to just pounding coffee, so my hands are a little shaky, so definitely had to turn up the smoothing for this. Okay. All right, we're getting there. I was pretty happy with the way the lady lettering looked, so I'm just sort of pushing it to this more intentional shape, but keeping it roughly the same. Okay, let's tighten it up. But it's still a little bit of a weird area in the center. I think maybe I want to connect the L and the Y. So let's do that. It's a little too busy. Oops. Let's make a new layer. Okay. There we go. That's better. Anyone have any questions? Oh, Megan Cooksey, you said, do you ever just have to scrap something and start over anymore, or do you grow out of that? Hey, I think didn't that happen right off the bat? I scrapped my first attempt at chili pen paper and fully started over. So yeah, I start over all the time. Also, like, I almost always do lots of like quick rough sketches. I do a little bit less of that on these live streams because I'm trying to go a little bit faster so I can do more of them. But I think, you know, doing lots of quick sketches is helpful. I find that the times I have to start over more is if I think I have like a good idea and I'm like, oh, I can just skip the sketching this and I can just go in and do it. That's usually when things go poorly. When I like get rid of that crucial step where I need to like figure it out. Or sometimes I'll have a sketch that I like, but then when I tighten it up, it like loses something. Like sometimes sketches just work as a rough sketch, and then when you try to make it into something, you're like, for some reason this just doesn't work. So yeah, it happens. I don't think it's something you grow out of. I think it's just part of trying new things and experimenting. On a side note, I've been trying to get a little bit ahead on videos because I've got some stuff coming up, and I feel like I've been struggling coming up with ideas for things. Also, the last two videos didn't perform that well, so I'm like, oh, my YouTube channel is over. So I'm, you know, a little panicky. So my question is, hey, what kind of videos do you guys want to see? Because maybe maybe I'd love to make them for you so that I can stop overthinking things. Zero Chan said, I'm brand new to Fresco. Is there a way to organize your brushes custom in subfolders, or is it just favorites and that's it? So the easy answer is you can just sort of organize your favorites. What I do, like for my retro Splico brushes, as you if we like pull them up here, as you can see here, I have them in different categories: drawing, coloring, effects, pattern. So what I did was I just grouped them in Photoshop and then exported them as like the drawing brushes, and then they show up as a folder in Fresco. So it does involve using Photoshop, but that is a way around it. You could probably also do it with the Creative Cloud app, maybe, if you go into your files and then you could probably group your brushes there. I don't know for sure. I feel like that might be the case. Okay, I think this is just about done. I just want to do a tiny bit of make sure I'm on the right layer. Just a tiny bit of cleaning up some of these edges and the way they kind of flow together. Making these points a little bit sharper because this is, after all, a badass band logo. I mean, to be fair, Lady Icarus does sound like could be a badass musician. All right, I hope you like it. Up next is, drum roll, please. Super chat, Mark Fowler. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you. Coming in hot, jumping the line with a super chat. MarkFow. Okay. What are we gonna do? What are we ever gonna do? Dude Ranchero said, any tips on brush size, line weight, what's optimal? You know, really it depends on what you're trying to do and your file size. For me, like for instance, right now I'm working at 4,000 by 4,000 pixels, and when I'm using my liner brushes, I tend to be in the 20 to 30 range to get the size that I want. But if I'm using like a texture brush or coloring brush or something else, it's going to vary. Also, different brush textures or different brushes have different sizes based on the stamp of what the brush is made out of. So there's a lot of variations. All right, let's see. I wonder, we do some like thinner, sharp. Oh, we got a W right in the middle of the last name. I think we need to do something with that, with like the symmetry. I feel like that's a good center situation. Let's turn down the opacity on this and see if it gets us anywhere. Okay, so tricky is okay, that's pretty cool. We can tweak that a little bit, but let's figure out what Mark is going to look like. The name Mark, not or what Mark looks like. We're not going to figure out what he looks like. Megan Cooksey, you said, how many roughs do you do on average for professional piece? I'm not pro, but curious. You know, it really depends. Typically for a project, I'll usually send 2 to 3 sketches for like a concept for something that will get narrowed down. But what I might do myself, sometimes it could be a ton depending on my inner process, but I usually work quick and do like lots of small little roughs, like just like little compositional things. So depending on what, you know, how much we consider for those, but sometimes it'll just come to me and I'll, you know, it'll be just like 2, and then like maybe I'm doing another option just to do another option. But other times, you know, it could be a lot for some reason. Sometimes some things come quick and sometimes they don't come quick. It's just part of the game for me, at least. I don't know if that's the case for everyone, but you know, sometimes I'll bang out a project really quickly, and other times it's a struggle and it doesn't seem like it should be a struggle. Okay, so I think this is looking like it could be pretty cool. I think I want to exaggerate it though before we tighten it up. So what I'm going to do is delete that. Let's merge these together. Let's just make this a little bit smaller for this step. And I'm going to use the pucker and the liquid to just pinch it in towards the center a little bit to just make it a little bit more dramatic. Then maybe we can kind of just push in some of these parts a little bit just to make it a little bit more dynamic. Okay. Now let's do a little bit tighter sketch. There's also like this aspect to the question I was talking about before in terms of like how many like roughs, because like this is a rough, but I'm doing like a version 2 of that rough right now. So it's like you know, does this count as 1 or 2? So I'm using the symmetry to just put in some of like these like corners so that I can have that part be balanced. Okay, now we can turn off symmetry. I forgot the L in Fowler. Thanks. Thanks, Matt, and whoever else was probably yelling at me in the comments. Look at that, snuck it right in. Like nobody even, like it never even happened. Everyone was like, oh, we'll never recover from this. He's a failure. He forgot the letter. He's got to start over. I didn't have to start over. That was a pro move right there. That's why I always write down the name, and then like double check it a bunch of times. It's never the times where I'm like overly obsessing. Like, oh, did I do it right? Did I do it right? It's just between the ADHD and the drawing, the forms, and the thinking about the individual letters, you just forget things. Okay. And now we are at iteration 3 to see if we can finally pull this together. Tech Bumb. I'm trying to read your name as if the numbers are letters? But no, because then it wouldn't be B's. Anyway, Tech Wound 3. You said, did you doodle a lot in school? What kinds of things did you draw then, and do you still draw this? Yeah, absolutely, nonstop. That's all I did when I was a kid. I drew. When I was little, I definitely did a lot of band logos. That was a really fun thing that I like to draw, but like weird monsters and stuff like that. Basically exactly what I draw now. So there was certainly a lot of repetition there. You know what? I'm feeling bold, and I'm gonna go in with the I'm gonna go to the ink zone. I'm just gonna start in this area that I'm a little, this is not perfect yet. So we're going to do another AR combo because it's kind of fun. Jenna, you said, ooh, video idea. Go around your house and draw your son's toys in your style. That'd be cool. That's a good idea. Like that. The tricky thing about YouTube is like, I'll have fun ideas for videos, but like, if you can't think of what the title and thumbnail are gonna be, it'll like ruin the whole thing. Because even if it's a cool idea, if people don't click on it, then like nobody even sees it, and then you have to quit your life because you're the failure of the world. But you know, maybe I'm just thinking of it wrong. Like maybe there's a good video, a good title for that. All right, maybe we can do some, like a cool middle of this W like that to sort of frame that area, and then this can come over here. Probably should have done this part with symmetry, but maybe it's better that it's not symmetry because it's like it's almost the same but a little imperfect. To give it some more character. Sometimes if it's too perfect, it'll lose it, you know, the energy. It'll look a little too static. So this way we're like using the sketch that has symmetry, but drawing it by hand. I also think that this would be better like that. That O needed a little something to make it a little bit more badass. Also, this F needs a little extra spike, I think. I think I'll do that on the R too. Skippy McHaggis, channel moderator, hero of the live stream, said video that you want to watch, something about negative space. Yeah, like why it's as important or more important, why what you don't draw is more important than what you do draw. Look at that title. See, I'm now thinking like a YouTuber. Negative space is, you know, one of those things that I feel like is a big part of design education. And those of you who don't know, some of you OGs will know that like I didn't do, when I initially went to art school, I went to school for design and actually didn't even take illustration classes. But even though I've become an illustrator, I wouldn't change that design background because I feel like it's such an important part of, it makes my illustration work better. Look at that, that's fun. I think this is one that could use some texture. We're gonna load this as a selection. Let's turn it off. New layer, and then just come back over to. I'm just gonna use that same one I used last time. The grip builder worked really well for this. Make it a little bigger. It's cool. Hope you like it, Mark. I think that turned out pretty cool. I think there's a little. I'm gonna load it, the original, as a selection real quick, and just take the. Go back to this grip builder brush. Where is it? There it is. And just use it as an eraser to just. Oops, wrong there. To just clean up. Total dummy. Load less selection. We forgot to invert the selection. I did that before. Okay. And now. Boy, howdy. How many times am I going to mess up? Deselect. All right, this one. Load as selection. Invert selection. Back to this layer. Brush. As an eraser. There we go. Just wanted a little bit of that. Was a little too aggressive. There we go. Perfect. Except for this. It's a little too much there. That's the right amount, I think. Okay. Thanks, Mark. Back to my sketchy brush. Isaac? Is it Isaac or Isaac? How do you say that? Archer. We'll see if I cannot spell wrong this time. Double A's. That's a tricky thing. Maybe we'll do what are we gonna do? Maybe we start with like some block letter situation. That's too wavy. Well, actually, it could work if it's like maybe it's like more narrow. I think that could make it cool. Like I-S. Okay, so let's divide this up. Okay, so we'll just straight up black bar for this. D4 House, you said, do you have any pets? Your office has a lo-fi vibes and a cozy cat would complement. Well, I do have a cat, and his name is Werner, and I have a dog. Her name is Dottie. They, come down once in a while. They both like to come and go often, and so I have to shut the door when I live stream for like the noise, because try to keep it quiet, so they're not in here for the when I'm live stream. But Dottie's been in a couple of videos. I feel like Warner hides a lot during the day, but then he's like all over at night. He's just like, let me sit on you. Let me headbutt you in the face while you're trying to do something. So right now, this is still like the structural part. So you may be thinking, hey, this doesn't look like a badass band logo yet. Well, we're gonna get there. We're just trying to figure out the rough shape and like where the letters fit, and then we can make it cooler. Okay. So let's delete this. Delete that. Check the spelling. We didn't miss anything this time. Let's make this a little bit bigger. All right, let's make the blocks for this. I don't want these to be like perfectly aligned, but like close, like that, I think would be good. And then might rotate them a little bit afterwards. We'll see. Okay, so I'm gonna lower the opacity on that. And then on a new layer, I'm going to draw in white to sort of cut out the letter forms. I'm going to put in like a bit of an angle for that A. Put that. And then maybe like that for the I. I think one way we can make it look cooler is if we like exaggerate the top half of the letters. So it's like maybe something like that. Skippy, you asked what my favorite kind of candy is. Favorite kind of candy. I like things that involve peanut butter, but also like gummy stuff. Maybe peanut M&Ms. I like peanut M&Ms a lot. In terms of sweets, I'm very much obsessed with ice cream. I keep wanting to go even lower on this. So my plan is that I'm gonna kind of shift them a little bit once they're cut out, and then like use a little bit of texture to make it maybe look like almost woodcut or something. I think that could be cool. Okay, let's move down to Archer. Should start over here so we don't run out of space. I like when some of the letters get like a little bit skinnier than they should. I feel like it give it a little bit of depth and, I don't know, some coolness. Let's lower that a little bit, and then maybe Megan Cooksey, you said, what's your favorite ice cream? My ultimate favorite ice cream is Chubby Hubby from Ben & Jerry's. Not to be confused with Chunky Monkey. Chubby Hubby is, there's a lot of peanut butter involved. There's chocolate covered peanut butter filled pretzels in there. It is a delightful treat. I would eat it constantly. I love ice cream so much that like I have to be very careful. I can't just like have it in the house. Like it has to be something that I'm gonna eat in one sitting, because otherwise I can't function. Like I can't live my life thinking about the ice cream that's like in the freezer. Like it's just like, it's too hard for me. I can't do it. I'll be sitting down here just being like, I know there's ice cream up there. How am I supposed to get anything done? Okay, let's delete that. Let's load this layer as a selection, and then we can erase that. So we can deselect, we could delete that. Now we've got this, and now I just want to actually, I got an idea. All right, so let's cut those. Let's paste those on their own layer, and then let's just make these a little less perfect. Let's grab this C. Like that, and then this R, I think will be good for the next part to just finish this off. I lied, we just need to shift one of these a tiny bit. It's the E that needs a little bit. Okay. So let's load that as a selection. And then let's not reinvent the wheel. We'll just use that we'll use the grip builder again. Why don't I just go into the recent brushes, because that would make my life easier. Okay. Okay, and then let's load that as a selection. Whoops, that's not what I meant. Load as selection, and then on this layer we'll use a different texture brush. That one's too aggressive. We want this one is a little light, but I think this is what we needed. We're gonna get that built up a little bit and then just come in with a little bit, maybe we could use this one just a little less aggressive. Cool. Then just one last thing. I'm gonna merge, oops, let's turn that on. Let's merge that down. Let's load that as a selection, and then we can turn that off. And then what we're gonna do here is just use that, use a light one like this. And then put these back on, and then take that, and then just kind of push that over to the side to just give it like a little bit of a overspray. Cool. I hope you like it, Isaac. I think that turned out pretty cool. Next up is Teresita. Did I say that right? Teresita. Okay. What are we gonna do? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we could, let's just freestyle a little bit. Dude Ranchero, you said, how about a vid of drawing the day's hot memes? That could be fun. If we do like a mix of almost script, but then sometimes it's not, like that uppercase R. Then maybe this S could have like a little swash that dots the I. I don't know. I mean, that's a mess right now, but there's things in here that are kind of cool. So instead of scrapping it all together, we could kind of like use it as like a way to focus on the things that do look kind of cool. So like, I think there was something here that was kind of fun. It's like this. Kind of like a psychedelic vibe. one's pretty cool. I think this S needs a little bit more weight in this part. I think this is gonna work out. Let's do it. I think I want a little bit of symmetry, so I'm going to make like a shape as a guide, like I often do. Not to follow perfectly, but just to give me like a visual tie-in to like see what the other side is doing. It kind of looks like lips. We might need this to come up higher for the A. Okay, turn off symmetry, and now we can take this thing, turn it down, and then double check our spelling. Yes, okay. Now let's draw. Skippy, you said Werner Herzog the cat. It's not Werner Herzog, but it is Werner. My partner Shayna named him because she thought the name was funny. I'm gonna play around with having some of these letters sort of like overlap a little bit, or like the line just sort of breaks. Let's see what that looks like. I think this combination is a little bit weird. We gotta be careful with how this looks. There's just a lot of things coming together in that one spot, so I don't want it to get too busy. I think what needs to happen is we just need to shorten the R. Thanks, Dude Ranchero. So as you can see, I'm not like completely tied to the overall shape, but just like using it at a point to like touch the top of the corner with that A will make it feel a little bit more balanced. Actually, I think it might be cleaner to just have this all just be a curve at the bottom. We'll see. Okay, let's fill it in and see. I think that bottom is weird now. It's like a little lumpy. I think the solution might be to maybe have it, maybe if it's like more to a point. What are we gonna do? Let's see. Let's ready? All right. Make a new layer. We're gonna fill that in, and then we will scale that down to the center. Then go like that. And then we could just simplify it a little bit, but maintain some of that some of the shape, like some of these points from the bottom of the letters. I just don't want it like fully detailed because it might be a little too busy. We'll see when we fill it in. Okay, merge down. Okay, that's better for sure. We just need to clean it up a little bit so it's not so much detail. Okay. Just about there. What we're gonna do is just load this as a selection, and what I want to try to do is just have the bottom half be a little bit more almost sort of like a gradation. So like pretty much filled in at the top, and then cool. That's pretty fun. I hope you like it too. Teresita. Lady Icarus said, do you ever get nervous drawing in front of others? I struggle with this and would love to gain more confidence in doing so. Yeah, absolutely. I always feel like, even on these live streams, sometimes, especially at the beginning, I have to like get out of my own head to start doing it, because I'm like, oh, what if this goes badly? What if I can't draw today? Sometimes I feel like I can't draw at all. All right, next up is Christine. It's almost like drawing my own name with a tine at the end. And I don't like drawing my own name, so I think I want to do like a chunky retro-y script situation. Some like sharp points maybe. We do have to be careful if it's too chunky though, because it's a long name. Maybe we can use some like curves to make things get a little bit smaller to help with the size. Maybe it could be like mega 30 off to the side. No, that doesn't work good. What is it? Does it need to go this way? Then like the whole thing has a little hairline around it. All right, I think if we, right now, it's not there, but I think it can be there. I think we can get there with this. I think what I want to do for this one is that my sketch? Is that my sketch? That's my sketch. Okay. What I'm going to do is fill in the background black. And then lower the opacity a little bit. And then draw white on top instead of doing the outline, because I want it to be knocked out of black shape. But if I do it in black and then invert it, sometimes, well, the spacing, it just doesn't look right, because there's not enough. You need more visual, you need a little bit more negative space, and then it feels like it's too tight if you just invert it. So I think having a mix of like smooth curves, but then some like sharp points in some areas, I think will be cool. Like maybe that. Okay, before I go too far, what I'm going to do is fill this in to just get a vibe check. So I think this is going to be one of those treatments that I need to add in a little bit of detail in between some of the letters, but I like the overlap in general. I'm gonna need to do a little cleanup in that spot, but we'll get there. Okay, let me turn off that sketch so I can just focus on these areas that I need to clean up. So this T thing, I thought I was gonna like have it be a little round at one spot to like dot the I, but it ended up being too much of a, ended up being a little too much, a little bit hard to see. Okay, so I think I want to try to add in a little bit of like texture to separate some of these letters. I think it could be fun. I don't love this connection anymore. This okay. Let's see if this is gonna work. So I think if we grab black and then let's see what we got. Anything in the new ones? I haven't used this in a while. How does this work? A little too much there. Oops. Oh, you know what? The smoothing was off and I was used to it. So that's why I didn't get that smooth curve. We'll just redraw that part. It was too long of a curve for me to do it without the smoothing at this point. I'm trying to like taper it a little bit so they get lighter, so it's sort of like a gradation. I don't want to go too far, but I think, okay. I kind of like this just as is, but I think it would be worth doing the, so I'm unclipping that and just, actually we don't even need to do that. We can just load this as a selection and then just erase it from this. And that's gone. And then we can turn this back on. Okay. Just about there. I'm going to use this more rough brush for this outline. Just give it slightly more texture. Okay, let's duplicate that. Make it a little bit smaller. Rotate it down. And then just connect those spots a little bit. Smooth out a couple of those little things. And then that's too much. Whoops. Okay. Just to finish this off, I just want that line to, I like it, but I just want it to be subtle. So I'm going to, what brush do I? Oh, I think I'm in the wrong area. There we go. Cool. I think maybe that outline was not what we wanted. Also, let's just real quick realize that that's better on its own. And sometimes you do some stuff and it's not good. I feel like that's it right there. That's the better version. All right. I gotta go. This has been fun. New live streams every Friday, except for every once in a while. I can't do it. New videos on Tuesdays. Don't forget to use the promo code DumpsterFire on my shop to get 20% off. Yeah, thank you all. Give me a like and a thing on the way out if you are not a subscriber. You guys are the best. Thank you all. Thank you to my patrons. Enter the contest. Submit some work. I'll see you soon.